Hello, I'm Randy Ridinger. I'm an equine dentist from Weatherford, Texas, and I wanted to talk to you today. A lot of times people ask me, well, how does dentistry help the performance of my horse? So what we need to know or understand is in a horse's mouth, there's movement. The bottom jaw has to move left and right and forward and back. Anytime a horse raises his head, the bottom jaw moves back. When he lowers his head, the bottom jaw moves forward. When they chew outside to inside. When you put a bit or a bridle on them, that jaw has to move. When a mouth gets out of balance, performance-wise, it inhibits the movement of that jaw, okay? So we want to talk about having balance in the horse's mouth, where this is the TMJ joint, this is the molars and the incisors. So anytime that this jaw moves left or right, or forward or back, I want this to stay together. It's called three-point balance. I can equal the pressure from this TMJ joint through the molars and these incisors, okay? That's for sure, that movement has to be in a horse. When a horse gets in a situation like this where you have a wave complex, a big ramp, then that restricts that movement. And when you put your bridle in your bit, it goes up here. When you turn or want to stop your horse or make him bit up or bridle up, all this has to pass over each other. It's not so much that it hurts the teeth, but your TMJ joint is a really important area. It's held together by tendons, muscles, fibers, ligaments. These can dictate the placement of this joint, or they'll have this joint stretched out too far and maxed out. So then when you start to turn your horse, it causes a lot of pain in that TMJ joint, okay? Another thing that happens on young horses, let's say, you have wolf teeth, not to be confused with canines. Sometimes wolf teeth will be up here, sometimes they're on the bottom, sometimes both. When you pick up on your bit or your bridle, it takes the soft tissue or the corner of the lips, pinches it into this wolf tooth and cuts it, makes a sore and a hole, and then they fight and throw their head. Then not to mention you have real sharp edges all the way back through the sides, okay? And let's see. If we look at this skull here, you can see that the upper sets out wider than the lower, okay? So if I have a bridle or a bit and I turn it where the eyelet hooks to the headstall, it'll dig right up under that ledge. If that ledge is sharp and edgy like over here, that causes a lot of issues and problems. So we want to make sure we balance this horse's mouth front to back, get it even, get all the sides done, round the edges, and put a bit seat on them where this is rounded like this, okay? Versus this side that hasn't had a bit seat. And your bit will hit against this tooth, take all the skin and the lips and fold it around the points and corners of these teeth. And then that causes a lot of pain. The other thing that happens is the tongue sets in here, and when you pull on the bit, it mashes the tongue down into the sharp edges of the teeth. Your lower teeth will be real sharp on the inside as well. So keeping everything in check and in balance, making sure the caps are shedding. At 2.5, they shed this cap. At 3, this one, 3.5, this one. They don't even get their last permanent tooth in the mouth till about 4 years old, and it meets by 5. So you have all these things, these changes going on in the horse's mouth. One thing we gotta remember is to keep it balanced, three-point balance, keep it in check. Make the mouth so that jaw can move left and right, forward and back as his head raises and lowers.